Hey guys, what's up? It's Methodkirito. So, let's talk about Legend of Zelda and why it is an influential game to me, and I consider it the best game series. Okay, starting off, as a youngling, obviously I was a noob at gaming, but I used to watch my dad play games, and the game he was into the most was Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. It was a very interesting game to me, and I really enjoyed watching countless hours of him playing the game. I can't lie, even though it was so long ago, it's in my memories. So then, when I got my shot to play the game, I had a great time, and also because I had been watching him that much, I sort of had a rough idea of how to play the game, even at a young age. So then, that was my introduction to the Zelda series, and then eventually Majora's Mask came along, and I fell in love with Majora's Mask because I liked the mask system, the whole collecting aspect of Mask and the different abilities masks have. I honestly wish there was more games like that utilize like different masks for abilities. For example, Hat in Time does it with hats that give you different abilities that you can use in levels, which is really cool too. So yeah, carrying on, Majora's Mask is one of those games you should play, because I consider Ocarina of Time a masterpiece, but I consider Majora's Mask my favourite game. And I don't consider it the greatest game of the series, but I still love it the most. It's one of those where I feel like it has aspects in that game that are so great, and it deals with a lot of dark topics at the same time. And then if you look at the way Zelda games have evolved, it's so good, because we went from games like that to future games like Twilight Princess, which was a darker take on the whole Zelda franchise like Majora's Mask was. And I loved the aspect of transforming into a wolf as Link. I actually like it when they incorporate new ideas and try and risk it, because it's so good. Just like with Wind Waker, the whole boat mechanic, where you could sail different islands, is so cool. And honestly, as someone who's not really into like traveling around on the sea and stuff like that, it honestly appealed to me, because even though I was happy with it being a Zelda game, it was one of those where you just got into it and it was like, whoa, this is great. So me talking about this is just to let you know how much Zelda has influenced my life and my gaming. And it's just me yapping along about Zelda because you need to hear this as much as everyone out there does if they're interested in the Zelda series. I feel like games define you based on the ones you actually pick up and choose to play. Like certain games will actually shape how you are in life and how you grow up to be. Now, there's not an issue with that. Like, you could like FPS games and just like shooting games, that's fair enough. But the reason I bring this up is because Zelda games gave me a love of fantasy and adventure. I feel like RPGs is another reason why I am drawn into so many JRPG games. Like, Zelda gave me that push towards those genres, and I feel like sometimes it's because of the games we play that we get pushed into these genres. And it's just so nice, isn't it? When you find a game you really love and you're always hoping for the next game series to come out. Like Persona is another example of that series for me. But yeah, honestly, try Zelda. For anyone who's never tried Zelda, you should try it. You're missing out on a game that's worth a lifetime of fun. I don't know what I mean by that, but maybe I'll find the answer myself. And this is a video after playing the latest Zelda game, which is Echoes of Wisdom. Which I must say, Echoes of Wisdom, what a game. Another game with a unique concept, which I really loved. I do have one thing I feel like is like a gripe with the game. I feel like it needed shortcuts, but they might have patched that by the time I've done this, because honestly, I played it near the start of release, so they probably changed some things, updates, and you know how it goes. And now, after yapping about previous Zelda games, let's talk about what I want to see in the future for the series of Zelda. So we're getting a new Hyrule Warriors game, which is really nice because I think the second one wasn't as good as the first one, but the third one seems to look really interesting, and I'm sure it's going to play amazingly well. But yeah, honestly, I hope that the next Zelda game will go back to the grassroots. So you know, the dungeon crawling, the keys, the key items, the unique items with the unique abilities, because not gonna lie, I miss the hook shot and stuff like that. And I feel like it would have been amazing to have a hook shot in an open world game like Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. Like, there's certain items that would have been great to have included in those games. But if that's not the case, then maybe we could go back to the to like one of the old games formulas, like we could return to the Majora's Mask type of gameplay with the mask mechanics, or we could risk it with a modern day version of Return of Link, because you know that game would probably be pretty fire modern day, because I played Infernax, and Infernax is a good example of the Legend of Zelda Return of Link and also Castlevania 2, and seeing how it works so well, there's potential for a modern day Return of Link that would work great. But if they're not feeling that, then this is my solution to what else they could do, and I hope they do this instead of putting it on GameCube Online. So, Link Between Worlds, Four Swords Adventure GameCube, Oracle of Ages and Seasons. These are examples of games that should get remade for the new Switch 2 system, in my opinion. This video will probably come out when the Switch 2 is out, so, you know, hopefully by the time this video comes out we'll get news about that. That is my honest opinion, and I hope you enjoyed listening to it. And let me know your opinions and thoughts on the Zelda series as a whole. Like, what would you like to see in the future? What don't you want to see? And also, what do you hope for? And with that, I'm going to end this. I hope you enjoyed this Zelda video, and I'll catch you soon for more Methodkirito Yaps.